Chapter number 10, Producer Equilibrium. So with the producer we mean firm. A firm is an economic entity which employs factors of production, land, labor, capital, entrepreneur. These all are inputs. They all are factors of production. They are used by firms, they are used by producers to produce various commodities so that they can sell them to people and can earn profit. So firm is basically a production unit for goods and services and consumption unit for buying the factor services. Firm is buying factor services and firm is selling goods and services. Firm basically transfer all the inputs into outputs. Now, how do we get to know that what level of output is firm's equilibrium? Equilibrium is a situation when the level of output which is produced by firm, is giving him maximum profit. It is that point when demand and cost condition, the demand of his output, the cost condition for his output is such that that level of output is giving him maximum profit. In short, when firm is producing that level of output with his given input, that his profit at that level of output is maximized. That is called as equilibrium. I repeat again, when a firm is able to use all his input to produce that level of output, that at that level his profit is maximized. By using his minimum input, how much maximum output he should produce so that his profit is maximized. That is called as equilibrium. Remember one thing, when a firm is at equilibrium, they neither want to increase their output nor they want to decrease their output. Equilibrium means what? Stable. You don't want to change that situation. So producer would not like to change the situation when his profit is maximized. At that point, he would neither want to increase the output nor decrease. So that is called as producer's equilibrium. Producer's equilibrium. Producer wants to make profit. This is a symbol for profit. So profit is equal to when total revenue minus total cost. As a difference between revenue and cost is more, profit also will be more. There are two types of profit. Normal profit, which we had done in chapter 8. Normal profit is that amount of profit which is not high enough so that the new producers will enter the market, but not so low that the existing producers will leave the market. It is that level of profit which is needed by producer, which producer expect to motivate him to stay in the business. That induce him to take up more production activity. It is that level of profit which will keep him working in the business, which will motivate him to take up more economic activity. In fact, normal profit is a cost which is needed by a producer to stay in the business. That is the minimum returns they will expect. Normal profit is actually treated as a cost. As I said, normal profit is amount of profit which is high enough so that firms stay in the industry and induce them to take up further economic activity, yet low enough so that the new firms do not enter the market. So that is called as normal profit. But whatever you make above normal profit is called as your supernormal profit, So producer here is working for supernormal profit. At what level of output, how much a producer should produce so that his profit is maximized. To understand this, producer equilibrium to understand, we have two type of method, TRTC, MRMC. Let's understand first TRTC approach. Okay, now y-axis is going to show TR, TC and TP. Here TP means total profit. I don't want anyone to write the shortcut. When you write y-axis, you should write full total revenue, total cost and total profit. And on x-axis, we are going to represent output. O. We are going to talk about producers equilibrium in perfect market, perfect competition. This entire chapter we are going to study producers equilibrium under perfect competition. What do you mean by perfect competition? It is that market where all the products sold are homogeneous and all the products are sold at uniform price. For example, if I am selling this pen, every producer is selling the same pen. If I am selling this pen at 10 rupees, every pen we will be selling for 10 rupees. Where price remain constant. When every product sold is homogeneous and is sold at same price. Perfect competition already is done in chapter number 9. So, under perfect competition, how is total revenue curve? Total revenue curve is, this MRMC we can do later, okay? Is vertical line. Why vertical line? It is sloping upward. It is also called as positively sloping. Positively sloping because everything you are selling at same price. So as you sell more, your total revenue will keep on increasing at a constant rate because the price is also same. So how is total revenue curve? Vertical upward straight line. Now total cost. Total cost will start from point A. It is again chapter number 8 we have done total cost. Initially it will be sloping downward, then it will be sloping upward. Concave downward, concave upward. Total cost. Total cost is sum total of total fixed cost and total variable cost. Your total cost includes total fixed cost. Your total fixed cost is never going to be zero. That is why total cost doesn't start from zero. It starts from point A. It starts from point A. Why total cost start from point A? Because your total cost is inclusive of total fixed cost and total variable cost. So this is basically, this gap is representing total fixed cost. We can call it as autonomous cost also because total fixed cost is going to be incurred irrespective of your output. Why is it concave downward? Because it is following the law of variable proportion. According to law of variable proportion, initially we had done that. Here initially the productivity of the labor is high. Our total cost initially will be increasing at a diminishing rate and then it will be increasing at an increasing rate. Then it will be increasing at an increasing rate. Okay. So this is total cost, total revenue. Now here this is point E and this is point F. At point E, let's mark OQ level of output. At F, let's say OQ1 level of output. Now let us understand that what level of output producer should produce so that his profit is maximized. Let us assume a situation where producer is producing less than OQ. If producer produce less than OQ, if you see cost curve is upper, revenue niche hai. If you see this is revenue, revenue is less, cost is more. Correct? Cost is more, revenue is less. Total cost is more than total revenue. A firm will make loss. So it is a very less output. Itna kam output firm should not make. Anything less than OQ level of output is going to give loss to firm. Because at that level of output, your cost is going to be more than revenue. If firm decide to produce exactly OQ level of output, which is corresponding to point E, At that level of output, if you see, total cost and total revenue are intersecting each other. At that point, total cost and total revenue are equal. It is called as break-even point. It is called as break-even point. At this point, total cost and total revenue are equal. Let's call it as BEP, break-even point. So of course, a producer is not working basically normal profit. At this level, he is getting normal profit. But he wants to work for extra profit, not for the normal profit. He wants pure profit, like a profit above it. So if a producer decides to increase his output after OQ, if he keeps on increasing up to OQ1 level of output. Now if you see, here cost is less, revenue is more. Cost is less because it is below revenue. So if we decide to produce more than OQ1 and less than more than OQ and less than OQ1, in short the one which I have done this, anything which is producing this level of output, total revenue will be more than total cost. A firm will make profit. This is firm is making profit. Firm will be making profit because his cost is less and revenue is more. If we decide to produce again more than OQ1, OQ1 से ज़्यादा भी आगे, again total cost will become more than total revenue. That will again be a loss situation. So which is the ideal situation for a producer to operate? This. Any output which is between OQ and OQ1 is going to give him profit because at that level of output his revenue is going to be more than his cost. So a firm is very clear, they are going to produce anything between OQ and OQ1. Now firm wants to maximize their profit. So as I told you, as the vertical gap between TR and TC, wherever it is maximum, that is called as maximum profit. So if you see this CD, at this the vertical gap between TR and TC is maximum. The vertical gap between TR and TC is maximum. That means if I extend it, let's call it as OQ2. So the vertical gap of CD correspond to what level of output? OQ2. At that level of output, the vertical gap between TR and TC is maximum, which is represented by CD. That means at that level of output, his profit will be maximum. See, any output which is more than OQ1 is profit maximizing output. So is profit output. But where is his profit going to be maximum? When he is producing OQ2 level of output. When he is producing OQ2 level of output. Because at that, the vertical gap between TR and TC is maximum. How we have shown that gap? By CD. CD represent what? Maximum gap between TR and TC. Which is corresponding to what level of output? OQ2. So which is a profit maximizing output level? OQ2. OQ2. Now on the same curve, let's show profit curve. Always remember one thing, how much you have taken this, take the same gap. Okay. So when a firm was producing anything less than OQ, they were making loss. So our total profit curve will be downward. But then at this point, a firm was making profit. So this is TP curve. TP is what? Total profit. No, look here. Initially your total profit curve is downward below x-axis. Why? Because initially firm was making loss. When firm was producing output level less than OQ, firm was incurring loss. That is why our total profit curve was downward. But as the firm started increasing the output, they started going beyond OQ till OQ1. firm started making profit. Firm started making profit. Okay, firm started making profit. In fact, CD is this. This is representing, let's say if it is E and F. EF is the maximum profit. Okay. Again, when firm started increasing more than OQ1, firm started going into loss. It started going into loss. So, this is loss, profit, loss. Okay. This is loss, this is also loss, and this is profit. This is how a firm will be able to achieve its equilibrium through TR-TC approach. Through TR-TC approach. So profit maximizing output for the firm to be in equilibrium will be OQ2 level. So OQ2 level is going to be equilibrium level of output for producer. So this was the first method by which we were going to understand how to get producer's equilibrium. This method is called as TR-TC approach. Let me give a quick recap. In this, the TR curve is sloping upward since it's a perfect competition. TC curve start from point A, which is representing total fixed cost. Concave downward, concave upward, because it follows law of variable proportion. It intersect at point E and at point F. Point E is corresponding to the level of output, which is OQ, break-even point. Any output level less than OQ is going to be loss, because at that level of output, total cost is going to be more than total revenue. Any output level which is more than OQ and less than OQ1 is going to be profit, because at that level of output, revenue is going to be more than cost. Any output level which is again more than, which is again is going to be more than OQ1, again is going to be loss, because cost will be more than revenue. So when firm is making loss, our total profit curve is downward, below x-axis. Then it reaches at its peak here at point E, and again then it goes downward, representing loss. So the output level at which firm will get its equilibrium is OQ2 level of output. Is OQ2 level of output. This is called as TR-TC approach. Alright. Now the second thing. The second method to get the equilibrium is MR-MC. Quite popular. What is the meaning of MR? Marginal revenue. What is MC? Marginal cost. Marginal revenue means revenue which is generated by selling one extra unit. What is marginal cost? Cost which is incurred on selling one extra unit. On selling one extra unit is called as marginal cost. Now, first of all, a firm. Let us discuss 3 rules in this. Okay. MR, MC, price. Under perfect competition, marginal revenue, we have done in chapter number 8, average revenue and price, all 3 are the same and constant. That is why we are drawing it as a horizontal line. Marginal cost under perfect competition is sloping downward then going upward like a Nike, right? Point E, point F, OQ level of output, OQ1 level of output. Alright. To understand this approach, let's understand 3 rules. Rule number 1. A firm has to decide whether they should continue working or they should shut down. How will firm take this decision? Alright, let us assume a firm is running into loss. Okay. There is a person who has taken this place on rent. Okay. Now the entire year's rent is paid in advance. He is running a cafe. Now, after running the business for 1-2 months, he get to know that here he is making loss. Okay, his total fixed cost is how much? 12,000. Let's say 12,000 in my example. He's running into loss. So he decided, I don't want to continue with my business. I want to cease my production. So he will not have to now spend on waiters or the raw material or the electricity bill or the cleaning bills. All that he will not have to pay. The only cost he will have to bear, even if he shut down, is the rent which he has paid in advance for the entire year. So that is his fixed cost. So if we decide to shut down the business, his loss will be equal to fixed cost. In my example, it is 12,000. If we decide to shut down, how much will be loss? Loss will be equal to fixed cost. You cease the production, means you stop producing more goods. But now let's say you decide a second situation, that let's keep business working. Now if you keep your business working, you will have to spend for raw material, waiters, electricity bill, cleaning bill, you will have to pay all that. And all that is called as your variable cost. Let us take a situation, my total fixed cost is 12,000. My total variable cost is 8,000. How much is my total cost if I keep my business working? 20,000. Now, I get few customers. By catering to those few customers, the total revenue I am generating is 15,000. My total cost is 20,000. My total revenue is 15,000. I am making loss because my cost is more than my revenue. But in this case, if I keep my business working, how much is the loss I am bearing? 5,000. If I had shut down my business, how much was my loss? 12,000. Now compare both the losses. In case of business working, my loss is 5,000. Because I am able to charge that price, that with that price I am generating the revenue where my entire variable cost is covered. My waiter bill, my electricity bill, entire it is getting covered. Not only that, a part of my fixed cost is also getting covered. But if I shut down my business, the loss will be fixed cost. When I compare the loss, my loss to keep business working is less as compared to the business shutdown. So rather I keep my business working. In which situation losses are less? To continue. So a firm will decide not to shut down the business. When a firm is not able to cover variable cost also, then the firm should shut down. So how to take decision whether to shut down or keep business working? If you are able to produce the output and if you are able to generate total revenue which is covering your variable cost completely and a part of fixed cost also, then you should keep your business working. If a firm is able to generate that much total revenue which is covering his entire variable cost and little fixed cost, then a firm decide to not shut down because they compare the losses in both the situation. In that case, the loss in part of keeping business working is less. So if you are able to cover your variable cost, never ever shut down the business. That's rule number 1. Rule number 2, to get equilibrium. Under MRMC, a firm will be at equilibrium when MR and MC are equal. Okay, let me give you an example. If my MR, marginal revenue, means a revenue which I am generating by selling additional pen. Let's say my marginal revenue is 100 and the marginal cost of producing this pen is 80. I am gaining 20 rupees. So what will I do to increase my profit? I will produce more. If my MR is more than MC, to increase my production, I will produce more. Do you agree? Okay, let us take a situation. My MR, the additional revenue I'm generating is 80. The additional cost I'm incurring is 100. My marginal cost is more than my marginal revenue. So in this situation, to increase my profit, I will produce less. I will produce less. But if my MR and MC are equal, let's say MR and MC both are 100. I don't need to increase my production. I don't need to decrease my production. And as I told you in the beginning, equilibrium is that point where you neither want to increase nor you want to decrease. If your MR and MC are not equal, you can come across two situations. Maybe your MR will be more than MC. MR will be more than MC. So then you will produce more to increase your profit. Maybe MC can be more than MR. In that case, you will produce less. एक additional pen बना के MC is, sorry, my MC is 100, I'm so sorry, 80. Okay, if additional pen bana ke revenue I'm generating is from additional pen, I'm generating 100 rupees revenue. I'm incurring one additional pen, 80 rupees cost. I will produce more to increase my profit. If additional pen ka cost is 100 and additional pen ka revenue is 80, I will produce less to get my equilibrium. But if they both are same, I don't need to increase my output. I don't need to increase my decrease my output. So the second condition is MR should be equal to MC, because at that level neither you are interested in increasing your output nor you have to decrease your output. But alone this condition cannot give you equilibrium. If you see in this diagram, MR and MC are equal at 2 points. At this point also, MR and MC are equal. At this point also, MR and MC are equal. So only MR MC equal is not a sufficient condition for equilibrium. Under this method, to get equilibrium, MR should be equal to MC plus. There is one more condition. Look here. If you see, MC curve is cutting MR. At point E, it is cutting from above. At point F, it is cutting from below. MC यहाँ पे ऊपर से कट कर रहा है, यहाँ पे नीचे से. So now look here. Let us assume अगर E को हम लोग equilibrium बोलेंगे, उसके बाद equilibrium के बाद I am telling you again, you don't want to increase your output. You don't want to decrease your output. You don't want to increase your output of equilibrium. But if I take E as equilibrium, उसके बाद तो मेरा marginal cost कम हो रहा है. My marginal revenue is increasing. I would be interested in increasing my output. If I take E as an equilibrium where MC is cutting MR from above, I would want to increase my output because my MC is becoming less than MR. Then why will I call it as equilibrium? यहाँ पे तो मेरा MC कम होता जा रहा है, and whenever your MC become less, you would want to increase your output. So E is not equilibrium. Okay, if I take F as equilibrium, definitely at that level of output के बाद I don't want to increase my output. Why? Because my MC is becoming more. मेरा अगर MC बढ़ रहा है तो I don't want to increase my output. Why? Because I know I will run into loss. So F is equilibrium, not E. Because at point F, neither you want to increase your output nor decrease. You would not want to increase your output, you should not decrease your output, because if at that level of output, if you see at that level of output, to the left of this point and to the right of this point, to the left of profit maximizing output, and अगर तुम देखोगे left में and right में, so here MC is less than MR to the left. लेफ्ट में तुम देखोगे तो MC is less, करेक्ट. और अगर राइट में देखोगे तो MC is more. To the left of this MC is less, to the right of this MC is more. You don't want both the situation. You don't want MC to be more, you don't want MR to be more. So ये दोनों साइड के situations are not sufficient for us, are not fitting for our equilibrium condition. But at point F, you are Fine. And at point F, our second condition is getting fulfilled. MC curve is cutting from below, not from above. So two conditions should be fulfilled for equilibrium under MRMC condition. MRMC approach. First two condition. First, MR should be equal to MC and MC curve should cut MR from below, not from above. So equilibrium is that point where MC curve is cutting MR from below, not from above. That is called as equilibrium. That is called as equilibrium. So this is how MR and MC approach we follow. MR, MC, again I am repeating, only one condition is not sufficient to get equilibrium. Only MR, MC equal will not give you equilibrium situation. MR should be equal to MC plus MC should cut MR from below. Okay, so because after that there is no scope that you can increase your output. You can increase your profit, sorry. Because after that again you will be going into loss. So MR should be equal to MC and MC should cut from below. This is how we get equilibrium. So what is our equilibrium level of output? OQ1. And what is our equilibrium point in this case? F. F correspond to OQ1 level of output. So these are the two methods for producer equilibrium. A very easy chapter. Only two main methods you need to understand properly.